Have you ever had like a really brilliant insight? A creative idea feels so vivid,
Oh.
but then you hit a wall. How do you actually bring it to life?
Mm.
Move it from just a thought to, well, a deed. And crucially, how do you convince other people? That gap, it feels huge sometimes, right?
It absolutely can. That space between knowing something and actually doing it or getting others on board. Yeah, that's a really common challenge. You
Yeah.
might have the insight, the knowledge, but without the right, I don't know, the right energy or channel, it just kind of sits there.
Exactly. So today, our deep dive is all about finding that bridge.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're looking at the energy around August 17th, 2025,
Okay.
and how it sort of encourages translating those insights, the ones that have been brewing, into actual concrete steps. Doing it with, well, intelligence and courage.
Finding the support structure for the idea,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Finding that support.
And we're digging into some really interesting source material for this. It's excerpts from Astrology and Story, The Spark in the Room by Tarot by High C.
Ah,
And, if you're curious about their work, High C does one-on-one readings, other stuff too. You can find them at tarotbyhic.net.
gotcha. tarotbyhic.net. Good to know.
That's the one.
So, okay, let's get into the vibe for August 17th. The source says it's mainly about gathering information, processing recent insights.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit inward-looking.
It is, yeah. It's kind of an internalizing day. And what's interesting is you might be getting tons of input, maybe even feel a bit swamped by what everyone else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual energy for making the big calls, it might be kind of low.
Okay, so not decision day then.
Not for the major stuff, no.
Well,
The advice here is actually to focus on resolving smaller things, little matters.
oh, like clearing the clutter.
Exactly. Think of it like tidying up your mental workspace. Getting those little nagging things done that you've been putting off. Clear those out, and you free up space, mental bandwidth for the bigger picture later when the energy is right for those substantial concerns.
That makes a lot of sense. Get the small stuff out of the way.
Okay.
And driving this whole energy for the day, there's a specific astrological thing happening.
Yes, exactly. This is the core of it, really. Mercury sextile Mars.
I agree, sextile Mars.
Yeah, and it's actually active for a few days, Thursday through Sunday, but it peaks, it culminates right on the 17th.
Okay, so what does that mean practically? Mercury and Mars working together.
Well, Mercury is all about communication, intellect, right? How
Yeah.
we think, how we talk.
Right.
And Mars is action, assertion, drive.
Yeah.
So when they're in a sextile, which is basically a harmonious angle, an opportunity,
Okay.
it means your thoughts, your communication, Mercury, get this dynamic, active push from Mars. Your words have energy.
So it's not just thinking, it's speaking with impact.
Exactly. That's why the source links it to charm, wit, strategic social magic even. It's great for brainstorming, especially with someone else.
A partner, yeah.
Yeah, bouncing ideas. And there's this element of grace, needing applause, being kind of image conscious in how you present things.
Image conscious.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you mentioned it helps ideas spring to life.
That's the key phrase from the source, those ideas that have been simmering. This energy gives them the spark to actually emerge.
So like perfect for pitching something, a proposal.
Absolutely. Proposals, pitches, the source even mentions PR stunts. It basically makes you super persuasive.
Wow, okay, super persuasive. I mean, think about that. How often do great ideas just fizzle? Not because they aren't good, but the delivery wasn't there.
Exactly. But here's the really crucial bit, the nuance.
Okay.
What kind of persuasion are we talking about? The source is very clear. Lead with confidence, not coercion.
Confidence, not coercion.
Right? The advice is, and I love this phrasing, say things with a wink, not a show.
A wink, not a shove. I like that.
Yeah. It suggests that debates might feel a bit flirty and flirtation might feel quite intellectual.
Intellectual flirtation.
Yeah.
Explain that a bit more. It's not romantic, presumably.
No, not necessarily romantic. Think of it as an engaging, playful exchange of ideas. You're inviting people in, sparking their curiosity about your thoughts, rather than just hammering them with facts or demanding they agree.
So it's inviting, not forcing.
Precisely. And because of that fine line, the source stresses being really clear about your intentions, especially, in conversations where motives could get twisted or misread. It's delicate.
That makes sense. That wink, not a shove idea is powerful.
Yeah.
But how do you make sure the wink reads as confidence and charm and not like you're not serious or even manipulative? Is there a danger there?
That's a really good question. I think it comes back to what the source says about being clear with intentions. It's about the integrity behind the charm.
Oh,
If you're genuinely trying to share a good idea, something beneficial, the wink is authentic. It's an invitation. But if the motive is purely self-serving or aims to trick someone, well, that's when the charm feels off, becomes manipulation.
and trust disappears.
Exactly. This energy is about your idea having real merit, and you're just inviting people to see it, not strong-arming them.
Got it. Okay. So this energy, this wink, not a shove, persuasion,
Mm-hmm.
how does it actually look? How does it play out? You mentioned the source has a story.
It does. A perfect illustration called The Spark in the Room. It shows this dynamic in action through two characters, Elena and Daniel.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the story starts with Elena. She spent the whole weekend just like sketching ideas everywhere. Napkins, receipts, scraps of paper.
I know that feeling.
Right. And the scene opens. She walks into this grand hall, chandeliers, murmuring crowd. All those little fragments of ideas are ready to be presented.
Okay, setting the scene. And Daniel.
Daniel's there. He's described as her sparring partner, but not in a rival way.
More like someone who pushes her.
Exactly. Sharpens her wit. The source says he leans in with this half smile when she speaks, just enjoying watching her develop her thoughts, even if he kind of knows where she's going.
That sounds like a great partnership. Really synergistic.
It really does. And in the story tonight, they're side by side, pitching this really bold concept.
Okay.
Elena's role is described as weaving the vision. She does it with charm, with grace, painting these pictures for the audience.
Okay, the visionary.
And Daniel. His words land like quicksilver. Strategic, clever, you just can't ignore them.
Wow. Quicksilver. So powerful synergy then.
Totally. The source says together they were irresistible. Their ideas were like twining in the air as golden threads of persuasion.
Golden threads of persuasion.
Yeah.
So the audience bought it.
Oh, yeah. They were leaning forward, laughing at the right moments, applauding the audacious claims. It wasn't just a presentation, it was a performance, a dance of intellect and charisma.
A dance. I love that. That perfect mix of smarts and charm.
And this is important. The story reminds us that underneath all that dazzle, persuasion was a delicate art.
Back to the nuance.
Right. Elena knew their confidence had to invite, not force. And Daniel knew, one sharp word, one gesture that was too heavy-handed, it could turn that admiration sour, make people suspicious.
So they had to balance it carefully.
Exactly. She balanced her fire with poise. He softened his sharp edges into playful curves. It's a perfect picture of that confidence, not coercion thing. It's not just what you say.
It's how you say it.
Absolutely. The delivery is everything.
So how did it end? Did they win them over?
They did, after the last slide. Huge applause. A victory. And there's this little moment where Daniel gives Elena's hand this quick conspiratorial touch. Not a shove, just a fleeting one, the source says, kind of sealing their success. Their ideas didn't just get presented. They danced, dazzled, and convinced the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really vivid illustration of the energy.
Isn't it? It just shows the power, really.
Yeah.
When you combine that careful preparation, processing your insights,
Mm-hmm.
with that strategic communication, the charm, and crucially, that confident but not coercive delivery, that's how you bridge the gap.
Transforming insight into actual impact.
That's it.
Okay, so taking all this in the energy of August 17th, this story of Elena and Daniel, how can you, listening now, find your own spark in the room? How can you use this idea to turn your insights into action this week?
Yeah, think about it. It doesn't have to be some huge pitch, right?
Right.
It could be how you introduce a new idea to a colleague who's maybe a bit skeptical, or how you gently suggest a different way of doing things in, I don't know, a family chat.
It's about inviting people to understand, not just telling them they should.
Exactly. Using that intellectual flirtation, maybe, instead of just laying down the law. So maybe ask yourself, what's one small conversation this week where you could try that?
And maybe also, what's one small nagging thing you can clear off your plate, like we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
to make mental space for bringing a bigger idea forward with that kind of confident energy?
Great point. Clear the decks first.
Okay, lots to think about there. And just a reminder, if you want to check out more from Tarot by High C, the source for today's story and insights.
Yep, you can find readings and more at tarotbi-i.net.
tarotbyhic.net. Excellent. Well, thanks for unpacking that with me.
My pleasure. Really interesting stuff.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.